Well, guys, I started out this time at the CNN and BBC headlines just to see what was going on. I didn't want to forget, like I typically do, to check on Duluth and Dubuque. And if this is a news story for today, October 23rd, 2025, I have to make this video a fun one and about the headlines. This airport ranks number one for conspiracy theories. One of its biggest theories is actually true. I can't wait to click on this. I have no idea what it says. All the conspiracies associated with this are true. Well, the main one, well, hi Bootsy, hi Bootsa girl, that it was all put there for us. It was all bait to suck in. There it is. There it is. The Lucifer. It's all bait to suck in the truth researchers. That's all it was. And they're still doing it. They're mad, and you're taking the bait even now. Well, we're making fun of it. We're past it. It was all there for us, just like Wayne's diagram. It was put there. Literally, someone said the Not Milk was just fucking with us. Yeah, of course. Then that they do this hundreds of times. They were literally just trying to suck us in, calling us out as the boy and girl that cried wolf in front of our friends and neighbors so we can be completely belittled and called crazy. And then when we finally break through and find the real truth, nobody will believe us. The boy and girl that cried wolf. Lucifer, one of their biggest schemes of all time, and I can't wait to dive into it this morning. The last couple videos, it's too recitative about this is reality and this is your spirit. Yeah, fuck that. We need to have fun once in a while. Maybe most of the week we need to have fun now. Maybe your higher self. Fuck that. The Denver airport conspiracy. 12 to 14 years ago, boy, did we take the bait, didn't we? Oh, we made video. I did. Yeah, I did. It was incredible. I took the bait, but I progressed. Most of the truthers don't. That's what separates our lifeboat from the rest of the ship of fools, that most of the truthers are still on it. I took the bait. I made videos about this, and then I moved on. Matt, is it safe to look in the eyes? It's nothing but recessed lighting. Look, it's safe. It's a piece of plastic. This ain't no different than what you'd find at your average miniature golf course miniature golf course down at the Wildwood Boardwalk or something like that, but it's more professionally done and more expensive. That ain't nothing but a red recessed lighting bulb you put in a drop ceiling. It's okay to look at the eyes. It's a piece of plastic while you're trying to putt for the free ticket. That's all it is. They probably literally took it from a miniature golf course and said, we can create a whole conspiracy around the building of the Denver airport. All we got to do is bring in some creepy statues, put in some creepy gargoyles, some creepy murals inside the airport, and then some tunnels. We'll get some pictures and show it to the those conspiracy people, and those dumbs. Oh, look at the dumbs, the deep underground military bases. What a bunch, what a bunch of horse shit. And yes, the Not Milk was screwing with us, as it has about 1,000 times. I'm not going to revisit all the stuff associated with the Denver airport, guys. The old guard knows all about this. In fact, from the old guard perspective, this is like a walk down memory lane, major league nostalgia. There were murals that the truthers broke down. Oh, what's the imagery? What's the symbolism? What's the predictive programming as to what's coming? Now, look, I hear some of you screaming at me right now. I can hear you in real time, even before uploading, because there's no such thing as time. Wrap your head around that. Saying, well, Matt, I hear you, but this was to distract from something really major that was being covered up at the Denver airport. Maybe. I don't know. Some might say, depending on what your beliefs are, missile silos or whatever. It doesn't matter. That's possible. Matt, you believe in nukes? I don't want to get into that right now. I don't want to do a sidebar on that. But this part, whatever they really were trying to cover up or distract from, this part here that was given to us in the form of yellow, smelly, stinky breadcrumbs was all bullshit. All to suck us in. And we thought we caught him. Oh boy, we're going to expose him this time. And let's get of course, how did the pictures get from the tunnel system, the endless tunnel systems under the runways? How did those pictures, it's a brutal, how did those pictures get into the hands of the conspiracy people? Unless Not Milk, oh, I see how it works. The Not Milk wanted those pictures to get in the hands of the conspiracy people. I see. And they actually brought in, there's the creepy gargoyles coming out of suitcases just to F with us. This happened 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years after the initial conspiracy. They brought in for fun a talking gargoyle. The thing moved around. One of the gargoyles one day started to talk. One of the gargoyles coming out of the suitcases, I'll try to find a picture for you, started to talk. And people could come out, and there was just a person with a handheld microphone moving the arms, or the head would move as the person talked. But the person that was dealing with the patrons and the passengers heading off to their gate to seek flights knew all about the conspiracy, of course. And many people coming through the airport knew, like somebody would look, there's probably old videos on, look up at the gargoyle and say, tell me about the tunnels on it. And they would question the gargoyle about the conspiracy associated with the airport. And then the gargoyle would just completely F with them and further propagate the conspiracy. It's actually very funny. And I wish we could have seen it from day one as funny, instead of like the whole truth community and even people like me taking it very recitarily for about 4 years. We all had to grow and learn. Okay, here's the plastic sculpture of the horse being set up in front of the Denver airport in 2008. The official name of the sculpture is Blue Mustang. Sounds like a cheap whiskey or something. You got brown liquor. You got Blue Mustang back there. You got pints. I mean, it's called Blue Mustang, but the world knows it today as Blucifer. 2008. It made its way in front of the Denver airport, which at the time was a relatively new airport. But still had been there for, I think, 10 or 12 years before. The old Denver airport was much closer to the city of Denver. This one, I've been there. I've been through it. You got to drive out forever to get to the damn thing. I guess that's because they needed the room mat for the DUMBs, the deep underground military. If I keep saying that, I'm going to get a banner ad. Commission, and here's getting back to the CNN article that says one of the conspiracies about this is actually true. And we'll talk together, guys, now to see if we really believe this. But of course, we heard this back in the day when we covered this. The sculpture, or whoever created this plastic thing for the miniature golf course, Luis Jimenez, died in 2006 there while working on it. Supposedly, I'm going to try not to laugh. The head fell off and crushed. Now, there's two ways to see this. One is it's just another part. Matt, I know half of you are mad. This is just another ridiculous part of the story. Don't fall for it. I hear you, but you know what? So I've been studying Knottnook a long time. I kind of know its ways. In other words, I don't think here's what I'd want to know. Was he creating it knowing it was going to go in front of the Denver airport? In other words, if he was creating it for whatever, just because that's what he was working on, it may have happened the way actually they say it happened, where the sculpture, a piece of the head fell on him in New Mexico and crushed him. And then you know where I'm going with this. The Knottnook then is capable of seeing the story or learning about it and being excited by that or something. You know what I mean? Like the Minions and Creeps saying, let's get that and let's make it, not what he intended. Let's put big veins and probably has devil horns. It has glowing red eyes. Let's make it in a way he didn't intend, the sculpture, and let's put it in front of the Denver airport. So as part of this whole picture we're painting to screw with the conspiracy people. See, you know what I mean? Matt, half of you say that's just part of the story, but half of you see where I'm going with this. It may have actually happened, but the guy didn't know he was making a horse for the Denver airport. The Knottnook said, that story, we can use that dark energy or something. It actually, the sculpture killed the sculptor. Let's get that thing and let's dress it up in veins and devil horns and let's put it. They're capable of that. Don't kid yourself. I've been studying this son of a bitch a long time called Knottnook. The actual death of the sculpture may have caused the whole thing. Oh, they're very capable of that. Don't ever turn your back on it. Here's another headline from today, but this one's for subscribers. Look at the eyes on that Prince Andrew. Look at that. Don't look at the eyes. You heard the story of Medusa, haven't you? These things are worse. These royals are worse than Medusa. Perseus will tell you. The unanswered questions hanging over the Prince Andrew scandal. Oh, this is related to Eppensteiner, Steiner, and all the unopened files. And come on, who are these entities? Look at them. Who are these creatures? That's when Tony described the sequential to me, and I said, that's it. And by the way, where I got that from, there's no original thought. I got that from Moonstruck, Remember Rose, Johnny Camerari, I got a question for you, Johnny. Sit down here, Johnny. Johnny, why do men chase women? She says, old Rose, why do men chase women? And then Johnny says, well, there's the story of Adam and Eve when God took a piece of Adam, the rib, and he made woman, and then a piece of man was missing. And that's not it. That's bullshit, Johnny. I said, why do men chase women? He says, I don't know. Because they fear death. That's it. And Rose goes, that's it. That's it. Because they fear death. That's when I go, that's it. I got that from Rose. And Johnny Camerari, it was the Cabomagis, the Castarinis, and the Cameraris. Johnny Camerari, sorry, he's gonna marry Ronnie Camerari. Look at these creatures. Now, the best news of all time, folks, is that entity is a spiritual entity, according to Tony, but it's lower than you are. It's not the same. Of course, it's a big shot here in this little toilet bowl, this little fish bowl. But doesn't it make you feel good that you are so superior? And are you people just making yourselves feel good? Really? Is that what your inner knowing tells you? Look at that creature. They play a role here. They know their role. If anything were real, but you think he has some money? Do you think he carries the American Express black card or gold card or whatever? The magenta card is probably what they replaced it with. You think he could get his little peewee sucked off in the privacy of his own home or the privacy of his own castle or Windsor somewhere? Think he could get girls and he has to go to the island. Let's go after the island. Are you going to take pictures? Oh, let me take a picture. I'm with this little girl here. Oh, come get a picture. Let's get a selfie of me with the young girls. Oh, does that make sense to you? Yeah. That's not you're insulting our intelligence. If anything were real, he has the American Express magenta card. He gets a little peeny payway sucked off in the privacy of his own castle. He don't need to go to no island and have the photographers come in. This is ridiculous. Now I take you to the top of the homepage for the very important and legitimate news headlines. Remember, Michael said it's very dangerous to do what we're doing, but if we do it with the shield of the Aegeus of comedy, that protects everybody. And I'm in the way of you can't be harmed. Only I potentially can be harmed because it's me that's diving into this. I have my full armor on. Don't worry about me. I think I can come out the other side of this with my soul intact. But Michael wasn't so sure. You're protected because it has to go through me, and we have the Aegeus, that means shield of comedy. Trump plows past concerns over East Wing demolition. They put plows past. That bot is so clever because they're demolishing the East Wing for the new balls room. Put your bitch face balls room dancing. They plows past. Oh, so clever. Just as I said the other day, it's just this story exists. It's really there. If you go out, you can see the construction work, I guess, from behind the fence, from behind your cage. It's all there to piss off half of the country. The other half will support it. Those with the flags welded in the back of the pickup trucks will support it. Well, maybe there needed to be a new ballroom. Maybe he's doing the right thing. He's draining the swamp. Can he afford to dance in style? They'll support it. Okay, I don't know what's here. We do this together, and I'll take the brunt of it for you. What else? Oil prices rise sharply after Trump's sanctions as West raises pressure on Putin. That's the same headline. That's the exact same headline that's been recycled 400 times in the last 2 years. Ukraine could get 150 advanced Swedish fighter. Swedish? Is that what the Swedish are known for? Their fighter jets? To me, it's the Swedish fish. The damn red candies, that's all they're known for. They ain't known for fighter jets. They probably get our shit, our F-15s, our F-18 Hornets, our Strike Eagles, and all that the Swedish are known for their fighter jets. They ain't known for nothing but Swedish fish. So we used to get that in the fucking penny candy store. Each fish was 1 cent. I'm not even joking. Down in Ocean City, New Jersey. The penny candy store went out of business because of inflation. U.S. strikes 2 boats in Pacific, expanding attacks on alleged cartels. That's not a bad movie. The Miami Vice movie with Colin, whatever his name, Farrell. Not a bad movie at all. But what bothered me the most about that movie, they keep saying, we get some go-fast boats. Go-fast boats. What do you mean go-fast? Who calls them go-fast boats? I grew up at Ocean City on the Jersey Shore. They're speed boats. The Goombas, the gigantic cigarette speedboats on the back, they couldn't even idle properly. They don't even idle. They're only at ease when they're going full throttle, wasting a gallon a second. The Goombas will tell you they're called speedboats, cigarette boats, not go-fast boats. But I don't understand this headline. The U.S. strikes 2 boats in the Pacific. I thought they all came up through the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico and the banana republics that raised the drugs down there, Colombia and Cuba and all the little islands. What do you mean the Pacific? Am I supposed to put Samoa on the radar now and parts of Hawaii is it where the drugs are the drugs are being brought in now from the Pacific as well? Well, Matt, that gives them the ability to spend more money, expand the fleet. Now, if you have to cover the Pacific and the Atlantic and convince the people of that bullshit when they bring it in themselves, then you have to spend more money. We need to get more drones and boats and boats and hose. Every time yeah, you got to now cover the whole Pacific. Where are they coming from? Tonga? Where are they coming from? Samoa? They come from the Gulf of Mexico. We learned that again back to the Miami Vice movie. You can learn something from those movies. This doesn't make any sense. Look at the bottom left, the blue box. Maduro boasts of thousands of Russian anti-aircraft missiles. Maduro, who took over for Chavez, of course, he's to blame for the plight of Venezuela. Not Nilk. Whenever they got together, planning out the modern era, maybe it was Albert Pike. And they said, we need to pick a bad guy, several bad guys, because without a bad guy in this world, none of our bullshit works. We'll bring North Korea, Russia, China on and off plays the role of the bad guy, and China in the future will play a very reciteer role as the bad guy, all part of an international play, one that Shakespeare would be very proud of, just picking the bad guys and then going back to those same bad guys. They're doing the same bad things over and over. Yeah, what if anything were real? I mean, it's so absurd at this point. Why would Russia put thousands of missiles in Venezuela? I mean, how is it possible? The people around us are falling for this. I say it every time, I know. Aren't they supposed to be fighting their own war? And it's a stalemate kind of, right? Shouldn't those resources be used against Ukraine? Am I missing something here? I'm just one of those people. Let's look at the middle picture on the bottom of the battleship below that. U.S. releasing survivors of strike on suspected drug vessels to their what? To their home countries. So there were survivors of the strike. Does that make any sense, guys? I don't want to keep going back to the same example, but let's just say the U.S. government contracted with me and Greg. They got us a Go Fast boat. And Greg, he went in like the Terminator and said, 40 long slide plasma rifle, just what you see here, buddy. We went to just a gun shop, and they don't have them in Los Angeles anymore. They did when the Terminator was made, that movie. So I think that was legitimate, but they got rid of them all because all the liberals pushed all the gun stores out. Greg and I, just one visit like the Terminator did to a gun shop, and he said, maybe I'm going to close early today. You can't do that here. You can't load shells. Wrong. Remember? Greg and I could take out those Go Fast boats with we'd have to need a little Coast Guard resources, a few helicopters, where there wouldn't be no hanger-oners. There wouldn't be no, you know what I'm saying? But the U.S. government on the strikes, there's survival. Well, Matt, obviously they want to interrogate them. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm going to shut the whole channel down. And moving to our right, and guys, we do this together. I do stop segment by segment and look ahead, but just for 30 seconds. I have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what I'm about to say about it, but I do give myself a little hint before I just go to it, and there are certain segments here. It's not just one long, uncut diatribe. Look at this insult to our intelligence. Despite drug record, survivors' families say he's a fisherman caught in Trump's war at sea. What do you think will happen if we click on this? So these Go Fast boats, these speedboats, bringing in the drugs from Tonga out in the Pacific. They by mistake they targeted a fisherman, a guy's. Well, is he going to be in a gigantic speedboat? Is he going to be racing across the Pacific at 90 miles an hour? Is that would he throw his nets back there? Wouldn't he just be in a fishing boat? We have to click on who's calling me. You know how annoying this is. Just want to be left alone. Okay, clicking on the article about the supposed fisherman, and it was a mistake to target that boat. The bot that carries out the wishes for the Not Nilk is very adept in what it does. Of course, it splits the country in two. The article gives evidence on both sides. If you're with Trump and you have one of those flags welded to the back of your pickup truck, then, oh, well, yes, he was probably a fisherman, but he knew who he was involved with. He knew he was kind of driving around bad people or was on the wrong boat or that sort of thing. And if you're a lib or, oh, he's just a fisherman, leave him alone. Oh, the U.S. government is now targeting fishermen. The bot is written so people will interpret it however way they want to interpret it, depending on whether they have a flag welded on the back of their pickup truck or not. And as I'm reading, well, we're going to read it. I'm looking at what you're looking at. What's with these? I know. I've been doing at the Stove Advice channel, I've been covering Russian sauna stoves where people build out of old bricks. They think I'm interested in buying a $25,000 backyard. I can't afford a $25,000 backyard sauna, sir. I'm covering how to make it out of old barrels and bricks and the old Russian way. They want to sell me look at that first one. It's a self-contained $15,000 sauna. If you want to ship me one of these, I'll test it out and kind of cover it on Stove Advice. If you could ship one to me, I'd appreciate it. You're supposed to, it's called target advertising, sir. I can't afford this just because I'm covering this shit on Stove Advice. Sorry. The Trump administration says they're about saving American, it says what? They're about saving American lives from drug overdoses? What? This administration and all the other administrations is about bringing the stuff in. Didn't you see that scene from Boys in the Hood? We ain't got no boats. We ain't got no planes. We ain't got no. How you think this stuff gets in here? It's called the gentrification speech by Furious. Of course, it's the Kill the Messenger movie about the San Jose Mercury news reporter. Of course, they bring it in. But most U.S. overdoses deaths aren't from cocaine. They're from fentanyl, largely as the bottom, below the $25,000 backyard sauna. As the U.S. strikes continue, the ones caught in the crossfire are rarely cartel leaders. Oh, the innocents, but the men who take the risks for them. Oh, they just want to feed the families, whatever. Do you remember what that roofer said in Clerks? Remember they were talking about whether the rebels should have actually, in Star Wars bot, really should have blown up the Death Star? And the roofer said, excuse me, I'm sorry to overhear what you're talking about, but I'm a contractor myself. I'm a roofer. And it is very imprudent for a roofer to know the type of clientele that he's getting involved with. Then he told the story about, the babyface Bambino and the hit on the house that took out the roofers? Basically, remember from Clerks? Those stormtroopers and all the independent contractors that were putting in the toilets in the Death Star knew exactly what they were getting into. And in my opinion, as did that damn fisherman. F him. Look what I see over here on the home page. I knew there would be a reality breakdown sooner or later. King Charles prays with Pope Leo at the Vatican as Prince Andrew's scandal looms back home. You see the problem with this, folks? Y'all pretty smart. I'm going to give you 3 seconds or at least 2 guesses, but you're only going to need 1. Go ahead. You see the problem? What King Charles prays with the Pope at the Catholic Vatican? What's all that Martin Luther shit for? The breaking with the church under King Henry or whatever, with the Church of England becoming what's called Protestant? I didn't take no seminary classes at Penn State, but you all Protestants, right? Well, Matt, King Charles is what you would call. Have you ever seen? Let's just say, what's the movie about Vlad the Impaler? That he's neither. Whoa, maybe this is not a reality breakdown. It's some sort of major truth drop, because a vampire would avoid the Protestant Church, would probably be more at home in the Vatican. Actually, I take it all back. This makes perfect sense. You've probably heard about this ridiculous story, because even I've heard about it. No security cameras covered the Louvre balcony where thieves entered. Director says there's some big heist at the Louvre or something. They just need fuel like this, Matt, to make some more movies because they're out of creative ideas. Probably. What I was thinking, the first thing I thought when I saw this story, is, first of all, I don't buy it. My default, basically, for everything on the homepage is I don't buy it. I'm going to be wrong once in a while. Once every few years, there will be a major theft, but my default is I don't buy it. My default is it's a not milk presentation. I'd rather just make that the default and be wrong a few times a decade, be mostly 99% right. I figured the Louvre hired the same company that the Pentagon did to do the outside cameras. So the Pentagon had no outside cameras with Flight 77, and they, right where they entered, there were no outdoor security cameras. But you have Ring camera, right? On your doorway, when some little idiot comes up to steal your pumpkin, you can get that on Ring, right? You get that on Ring, and you have some cameras, and you have Simply Safe and all that bullshit. You have stuff on your windows, but the Louvre doesn't. Ah, yeah, this is completely legitimate. Scrolling down a bit, it says, Paris, no security cameras. It says, no security cameras were monitoring the second floor balcony where thieves gained access to the Louvre to steal historic jewels worth over $100 million, the museum's director told a French Senate committee hearing. Guys, one more thing about the bot writing. I'm not going to do it in the same way. This is some sort of rewiring of the brain. It's always backwards. Now, you've heard me complain about the bot writing. This is, of course, intentional. It's almost to rewrite the psyche. And Matt, we're looking at it with you. We're protected. Do you feel as vulnerable as those in the Ship of Fools? Relax. Anybody would write, the museum's director, the Louvre's director, recently told a French Senate committee that no security cameras, everything is reversed. To me, it's doing this so much, it has to be by design. No, it doesn't work on us. Continuing to read, Laurence Descartes. That's worse than Nathaniel de La Violette. Lorenz, who named you, buddy? Lorenz Descartes. Well, that's what we say in Philly. It's $50 too. Told senators Wednesday that the eastern balcony of the Apollo Gallery, where robbers broke into the building on Sunday, used an angle grinder. That's the shitty tool I have downstairs for the Russian stoves. You can swap out your 4.5-inch blades. Was not covered by the museum's aging camera system. Well, as they all do. Look at this, guys. I hear you screaming at me even before the upload. It's the Apollo Gallery. That's the sun god. And then they stress in an underline in a bold that it was broke into on Sunday. Sunday, day of the sun, the Apollo Gallery's sun, more sun, and we'll have sun, till the daddy took the T-bird away. You think this is a coincidence, folks? Could you imagine if my family was listening to this? Oh, these people have completely lost their minds. It just happened to be named the Apollo Gallery. The break-in was on Sunday when it's... see, that's when it would be the most crowded. It would be the most... Well, maybe it was the middle of the night. I don't know. I'm no master jewel thief. I don't know when they would... But, of course, we would see the relationship where the people around us would say, we're just crazy people. Final paragraph, continuing to read, quote... Unfortunately, on the Apollo Gallery side, the only camera installed faces west, therefore does not cover the balcony affected by the break-in, as they all do. Descartes told the hearing as French investigators and Clouseau raced to recover the stolen jewels. Let me testify, the only camera we got faces west. It doesn't cover the balcony at all. Why? Because, I didn't want to admit this, but the curator likes to make love to the staff on the balcony and he don't want it caught on film. That's the best. Actually, why don't they come up with that? That would actually make sense. They're French, right? The only people that can make love longer, Sting used to do. Sting in the 90s talked about tantric sex, 6 hours. Who would want to have sex with Sting for 6 hours? Ew, man or woman. This is ridiculous, Not. Stop insulting our intelligence. One more screenshot, guys. We have to continue with this. This is just too funny. 4 days after the heist, investigators are yet to publicly identify any suspects, as experts warned, bold and underlined, the jewels were likely to be dismantled for their raw materials. What the hell does that mean? Destroying artifacts dating back to the Napoleonic era. The jewels were likely to... Wait. You can't dismantle a jewel. If you have a ruby in your hand, it doesn't break down into component parts, nor does an emerald. This is written wrong by the bot. Maybe there was a scepter they stole, and they're going to dismantle that to pull the jewels, and it doesn't make any sense. The jewels themselves were not dismantled. That's impossible. But they out to this is a truth drop. They're out to destroy artifacts, to destroy history. Well, they do that. Yeah, it's not my first conspiracy video. It's possible that's what this bullshit is all about, destroying more history. Maybe it would have given away something if that Marie Antoinette's chastity belt that was stolen was allowed to remain in the Louvre. It was covered in emeralds. No wonder it wasn't comfortable for her. The ease with which thieves gained access to the building during opening hours via a truck-mounted ladder has shocked that's as brazen as Basher in Ocean's 11. They just pulled the big rig up right in front of the Las Vegas casino. Has shocked the nation and raised questions about the vulnerability of the country's museums to criminals deploying new tactics. It's not new tactics. Didn't you see Ocean's 12? They tried to pass Julia Roberts off as Julia Roberts, and they went in to steal the Fabergé egg in the middle of the day while the museum was open. That's when Bruce Willis said, "Hey, Julia Roberts, this isn't new tactics. Stealing something while the store, or in this case, the Louvre, is open, that's as old as crime itself, sir. You're making this shit up." Okay, guys, we'll close with this from CNN Travel. When I saw this, absolutely wanted to get the list for Not Milk Travel Tours. 25 must-visit places and must-do experiences named for 2026. Not Milk Travel Tours would get some ideas. Is that one of the places? You want to take some 2-bit freaking canoe out with this guide who's hopped up on some sort of drug out into the middle of a mosquito farm? That does not. See the cursor there, sir? That does not look like the vacation I'm looking for, as they're eaten alive by greenhead flies. Not booked your 2026 vacation yet? Was that picture? Oh, yeah, that picture of spaghetti scrimmages. Oh, I hope I wasn't on it too long. No, I didn't book my 2026 vacation just yet because we're trying to raise the $40,000 to do it. The Venerable Travel, what does venerable mean? Travel guide Lonely Planet published its Best in Travel 2026 book into the room October 21st, featuring a list of 25 great places for Not Milk Travel Tours. Seeing best places. Brazil. This is Brazil. Brazil has the largest Japanese community outside of Japan. So let me get this straight. I'm going to plan vacation around seeing Japanese people in Brazil. That sounds great. I can't wait. What? Another urban pick is Mexico City. Mexico City? Haven't you seen Man on Fire? You want to be snatched up off the street like little Dakota Fanning? Mexico City. Oh my God. Remember that? A bullet never lies. A bullet never lies. Were you involved in this, Lisa? Just your husband. A bullet, don't lie to me. A bullet never lies. Here, what was his name? It was, it doesn't matter. The U.S. Selections, that's a truth drop. The U.S. selections on the destinations are the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota. Theodore Roosevelt, it was FDR that said presidents are selected, but this is a truth drop. The best of the world list for 2026. Oh, you guys going to watch Welcome to Derry about the Pennywise? I might. I still have HBO. Also in the Lonely Planet's list of places to visit in 2026, Botswana. How long you want to live, sir? Peru? Same thing. Jeju-do. Jeju-do, that's where judo came from in South Korea. Ikara, Flinders Ranges and Outback, South Australia. That's nothing but poisonous snakes. The Australians will vouch for me. I'm not joking. Cadiz, Spain, Sardinia, Italy, Tunisia, Barbados. I thought there'd be troubles brewing in the Caribbean. All sorts of military shit going on down there. I ain't going there. The Solomon Islands. Oh, what the hell how do you pronounce that? Guatemala, Jaffna. This list, this is a disaster. I wouldn't even be caught dead in a virtual tour. We're not even going here on Not Milk Travel Tours. And that tells you all you need to know. Thanks for being here, guys. See you Saturday. Putting this on the end to extend the time. When I said see you Saturday, look at the top left. When I closed the video, 33. Now, if I left that timestamp from the beginning, you'd have all sorts of dickheads and yahoos and trolls commenting right from the beginning. Look at the timestamp. The more mature old guard understands this shit just happens over and over again. And because if I were to even have this timestamp as part of the video, they wouldn't probably accuse me of being some sort of secret agent. Oh, that's right. In the prior In the prior video, somebody left a comment that, Matt's a Fed. What the hell what does that even mean? You think I would have taken my pension a long time ago. Are you kidding me? My $80,000 a year pension sit on some beach somewhere. Holy shit. But I'm doing this on the end to show you what the time was for my real close. If I just got Matt, just leave it and don't, then you'd have all sorts of dickheads commenting right from the start, filling up the comment section on that bullshit if I didn't do it at the end for the more mature audience. Thanks for being here.